My name is Jaya, and today we are going to read the second book of Sri Ramchandra series named Sita, Warrior of Mithila. तो आइए थोड़ा इस बुक्स के बारे में जानते हैं। ये बुक लिखी हुई है मिस्टर अमित त्रिपाठी के द्वारा। इनके बारे में, इनके कंटेंट्स चैप्टर्स के बारे में है। हम सीधा वही पढ़ना शुरू करते हैं। फ्रॉम द अद्भुत रामायण क्रेडिटेड टू महर्षि वाल्मीकि जी। यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति सुवार्ता अभ्युत्थानमद् धर्मस्य तदत् प्रकृतिसम्भवः। O keeper of righteous woes, remember this. Whenever dharma is declined or there is an upsurge of adharma, the sacred feminine will incarnate. She will defend dharma. She will protect us. List of important tribes. List of characters and important tribes. In alphabetical order. Aristonemi, military chief of the Malayaputras, right hand man of Vishwamitra. Ashwapati, king of northwestern kingdom of Kaikeyi, father of Kaikeyi and loyal ally of Dashrath. Bharat, Ram's half brother, son of Dashrath and Kaikeyi. Dashrath, Chakravarti king of Koshala. And emperor of the Saptasindhu, husband of Kaushalya, Kaikeyi and Sumitra, father of Ram, Bharat, Lakshman and Satrughna. Hanuman, Radhika's cousin, son of Vayu Kesari, a Naga and a member of Vayuputra's tribe. Janak, king of Mithila, father of Sita and Urmila. Jatayu, a captain of Malayputra tribes. Naga friends of Sita and Ram. Kaikeyi, daughter of King Ashwapati of Kaikeyi, the second and favorite wife of Dashrath, mother of Bharat. Kaushalya, daughter of King Bhanuman of South Kosala and his wife Maheshwari, the eldest queen of Dashrath, mother of Ram. Kumbhakarna, Ravan's brother, also a Naga. Kushdhwaj, king of Sankasya, younger brother of Janak. Lakshman, one of the twin son of Dashrath, born to Sumitra, faithful to Ram, later married to Urmila. Malayaputras, the tribe left behind by Lord Parshuram, the sixth Vishnu. Manthara, the richest merchant of the Saptasindhu. Mara, an independent assassin of hire. Narad, a trader from Lothal, Hanuman's friend. Nagas, human being born with deformities. Ravan, king of Lanka, brother of Vibhishan and Supernakha and Kumbhakarna. Radhika, Sita's friend, Hanuman's cousin. Ram, son of Emperor Dasarath of Ayodhya, capital of Koshala, and his eldest wife Kaushalya, eldest of four brothers later married to Sita. Samichi, police and protocol chief of Mithila. Satrughna, twin brother of Lakshman, son of Dasarath and Sumitra. Suparnaka, half sister of Ravan. Swetaketu, Sita's teacher. Sita, adopted daughter of King Janak and Queen Sunaina of Mithila, also Prime Minister of Mithila, later married to Ram. Sumitra, daughter of King of Kashi, the third wife of Dasrath, mother of the twin Lakshman and Satrughna. Sunaina, Queen of Mithila, mother of Sita and Urmila. Bali, the king of Kiskindha. Varun Ratnakar, Radhika's father, chief of Valmikis. Vasisht Rajguru, the royal priest of Ayodhya, teacher of the four Ayodhya princes. Vayu Kesari, Hanuman's father, Radhika's uncle. Vayuputras, the tribe left behind the Lord Rudra, previous Mahadev. Vibhishan, half brother of Ravan. Vishwamitra, chief of Malayaputras and tribe left behind by Lord Vishnu. Lord Parshuram, the sixth Vishnu, also temporary guru of Ram and Lakshman. Urmila, younger sister of Sita, blood daughter of Janak and Sunaina, later married to Lakshman. This book is written by Mr. Amit Tripathi, and he has written a note on the narrative structure. Thank you for picking up this book and giving me the most important thing you can share your time. I know this book has taken long to release, and for that I offer my apologies. But when I tell you the narrative structure of the Ramchandra series, perhaps you will understand why it took so long. I have been inspired by a storytelling technique called hyperlink, which some call the multilinear narrative. In such a narrative, there are many characters, and a connection brings them all together. The three main characters in the Ramchandra series are Ram, Sita, and Ravan. Each character has life experiences which mold who they are, and their stories converge with the kidnapping of Sita. And each has their own adventure and reverting backstory. So, while the first book explored the tale of Ram, the second and third will offer a glimpse into the adventure of Sita and Ravan, respectively. Before all three stories merge from the fourth book onwards into a single story. I knew it would be a complicated and time consuming affair, but I must confess it was thoroughly exciting. I hope this will be as rewarding and thrilling an experience for you as it was for me. Understanding Sita and Ravan as characters helped me inhabit their worlds and explore the maze of plots and stories that make this epic come alive. I feel truly blessed for this. Since this was the plan I had left clues in the first book season of Ichwaku, which will tie up with the stories in the second and the third books. Needless to say, there are surprised and twists in story for you in book 2 and 3 as well. In fact, there was a very big clue in the last paragraph of Ram's season of Ichwaku. Some had caught on to it, and for those who didn't, big revelation awaits you in the first chapter of the second book, Sita, the warrior of Mithila. I hope you like reading Sita, warrior of Mithila. Do tell me what you think of it by sending messages to him, to Mr. Amish Tripathi, who wrote these lines. Thank you so much, Amish, to give us such a opportunity to read about the another side of Masita. 3400 BC, somewhere near Godavari River, India, Sita cut quickly and efficiently, slicing through the thick leaf stem with her sharp knife. The dwarf banana trees were tall as she was. मैं पढ़ रही हूँ रामचंद्र सीरीज की दूसरी किताब है ये, सीता द वैरियर ऑफ मिथिला. The dwarf banana trees were as tall as she was. She did not need to stretch. She stopped and looked at her handiwork. Then she cast a look at Makrant, the Malaputra's soldiers a short distance away. He had cut down perhaps half the number of leaves that Sita had. The weather was calm. Just a little while ago, the wind had been howling through this part of the forest. Unseasonal rain and lashed the area. Sita and Makrant had stood under a thick canopy of tree to save themselves from the rain. The winds had been so loud that it had been almost impossible for them to talk to each other, and just as suddenly calm had descended. The rain and wind had vanished. They had quickly headed to a patch of woods with an abundance of dwarf banana trees for the entire purpose of the excursion. A short trip was to find these leaves. That's enough, Magrant, Sita said. Magrant turned around. The witness had made it hard to cut the leaf stems. Under the circumstances, he had thought that he had done a good job. Now, he looked at the stack of leaves by Sita's side and then down at his own much smaller pile. He smiled sheepishly. Sita smiled broadly in return. That's more than enough. Let's go back to the camp. Ram and Lakshman should be returning from their hunt soon. Hopefully, they would have found something. Sita, along with her husband Prince Ram of Ayodhya and her brother in law Lakshman, had been racing through the Dandakaranya or forest of Dandak to escape the expected vengeance of the demon king of Lanka, Ravan. Captain Jatayu, leading a small company of Malaiputra's tribe, had sworn to protect the three Ayodhya royals. He had strongly advised that flight was the only available course of action. Ravan would certainly send troops to avenge his sister princess Suparnakha, who had been injured by Lakshman. Secrecy was essential, so they were cooking their food in pits dug deep into the ground. For fire, they used a specific type of coal, anthracite. It let out smokeless flames for abundant caution. The shunk cooking pot was covered with a thick layer of banana leaves. It ensured that no smoke escaped even by accident, for that could give their position away. It was for this reason that Sita and Makarant had been cutting down banana leaves. It was Sita's turn to cook. Makrant insisted on carrying the larger pile and she let him. It made the Malaputra soldier feel like he was balancing his contribution, but it was this act that would eventually prove fatal for poor Makrant. Sita heard it first, a sound that would have been inaudible a little while ago with a howling winds. It was unmistakable now. The menacing creak of a bow being stretched, a common bow. Many of the more accomplished soldiers and senior officers used to more expensive composite bows, but the frontline soldiers used common variety made of it entirely of wood. These bows were usually more rigid, and they made a distinct sound when it stretched. Makrant duck, screamed Sita, dropping the leaves as she leapt to the ground. Makrant responded quickly enough, but the heavier load made him trip. An arrow shot in quickly, slamming into his right shoulder as he fell forwards. Before he could react, a second arrow struck his throat. A lucky shot. Sita rolled as she fell to the ground and quickly steadied herself behind a tree. She stayed low, her back against the tree, protected for now. She looked at her right. The unfortunate Makrant lay on the ground, drowning rapidly in his own blood. The arrow point had excited through the back of his neck. He would soon be dead. Sita cursed in anger and then realized it was waste of energy. She began to breathe deeply, calming her heart down, paying attention. She looked around carefully. Nobody ahead of her. The arrow had come from the other direction, obscured by the tree that protected her. She knew there had to be at least two enemies. There was no way a single archer could have shot two arrows in such succession. She looked at Makrant again. She had stopped moving. His soul had moved on. The jungle was eerily quiet. It was almost impossible to believe that just a few short moments ago, brutal violence had been unleashed. Farewell, brave Makrant. May your soul find purpose once again. She caught snatches of commands whispered in the distance. Go to Lord Kumbhakarna, tell. She's here. She heard hurried footsteps of someone rushing away. There was probably just one enemy now. She looked down at the earth and whispered, "Help me, mother, help me." She drew her knife from the scabbard tied horizontally to the small of her back. And she's Sitaji. Sita closed her eyes. She couldn't afford to look around trees and expose herself. She would probably be shot instantly. Her eyes were useless. She had to rely on her ears. There were great archers who could shoot arrow by relying on sound, but very few could throw knives at the source of a sound. Sita was one of those very few. She heard a loud yet surprisingly gentle voice come out. Princess Sita, we don't want to hurt you. It is better if Sita heard this voice. That's that Princess Sita. We don't want to hurt you. It is better if the voice stopped mid sentence. It would not be heard ever again, for there was a knife buried in the throat that had been source of the voice. Sita had, without bringing herself into view, turned quickly and flung the knife with unring, unring and deadly accuracy. The Lankan soldier was momentarily surprised as the knife thumped into his throat. He died in no time, just like Makrant had drawn in his own blood. Sita waited,